Hello everyone, today I'll be talking about the sport of lacrosse. When I was little, I used to play baseball, and one of the things I did not like about it is that I felt like I was just standing around merely watching the grass grow. I was craving a sport where I could run around endlessly, and that's when I was introduced to the sport of lacrosse. Let me give you a little background about the sport. According to Claudia Dorsley, the sport of lacrosse is the oldest sport in North America, going back to as far as 1100 AD. According to Jane Claydon, the game was played all throughout America and Canada, involving various cultures and tribes of Native Americans. The sport of lacrosse back then was very dangerous, with the sticks being made out of pure wood, no protective gear on anyone, and being that it was in some cases the Native Americans' form of war. So there were many deaths and injuries that came along with the sport's roots. According to Wikipedia, the field, where the game is played on, would range from as small as 500 yards up to 15 miles. Also, 100 to 1,000 Native Americans ranging from opposing tribes would participate in these multiple day-long games or events. Eventually, French pioneers discovered the Native Americans playing this collision sport and were very interested in it. According to WikiUser, the French pioneers noticed that the natives' lacrosse sticks looked like the bishop's cross, which turned it into the sport being called lacrosse. The French pioneers then took this and brought the sport back to Europe in the 1800s, and by the 1870s lacrosse was developed in the States, and according to the history of lacrosse, it led to New York University fielding the nation's first ever lacrosse team in 1877. Since then, the sport has evolved dramatically, ranging from equipment protection to the amount of schools implementing the sport of lacrosse. As of today, there are around 500 colleges and 1,500 high schools playing lacrosse. Now, moving to the positions and basics of lacrosse. First, you have the defenders. The defenders use a long stick and try to prevent the other team from getting near the goal and potentially scoring. Now for the attackmen. The attackmen use shorter sticks, and their main objective is to get the ball into the goal. They can only stay on one half of the field unless substituted. Next, we have the midfielders. These players' main objective is to transition the ball from the defenders to the attackmen, or help the defenders when the opposing team has the ball. These players have a shorter stick like the attackmen and are allowed on either side of the field, and are typically the most athletic because it involves the most running. Lastly, we have the goalie. The goalie's main objective is to block any shots from the opposing team from going into the cage. The goalies wear the most protection for obvious reasons and have the same stick length as midfielders and attackmen, but have a larger net for blocking the ball better. In the sport of lacrosse, you wear a helmet similar to a football helmet in terms of protection. You wear a chest pad, elbow pads, and padded flexible gloves to protect the hands when holding the stick. The helmet has evolved over the years, starting from just a leather wrap around the head to a full plastic shielded helmet with padding inside to help prevent concussions. Lastly, I would like to tell you all about why lacrosse is such an amazing sport to play. Lacrosse is a sport of agility and is the fastest game on 2 feet. It is also the fastest growing sport in the United States. Over 700,000 people and counting are playing, according to Jeff Brunel. According to my personal experiences, I've always enjoyed being active and have found that in lacrosse. It is great for my physical and mental well-being. I also love being a part of a team and building amazing relationships with my teammates. I play on travel teams in the summer and have had some of the best times. I'll miss the game after my senior spring season. So today I have discussed the history of lacrosse, the basics of lacrosse, like the positions and equipment used, and why lacrosse is such an amazing sport to play, combining teamwork, great physical activity, and an interesting backstory. Participating in this increasingly popular sport is a great way to spice up your athletic goals. Thank you.